welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today I'm going to do a different kind of video. This video was inspired by Christian Dominique. I believe she was the first one to do it, and it is face surgery with makeup. Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to try and transform my face, make it look a little bit sculpted, try and get rid of this double chin, suck the cheeks in a little bit, just kind of perfect the face. What it is it's going to kind of just be extreme contouring and highlighting, and it is just playing with the features that you've got, but just enhancing the ones that you like and then maybe receding the ones a little bit that you don't so much like. So I'm going to start off with lip conditioner as per usual, and I'm going to be using the Scentbird. This is the Melting Lip Balm in Modern Rose. I love the smell of this, and it really just hydrates my lips and keeps them very, very plump. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this bad boy on. I love the little metal applicator on this lip balm. It gives you that kind of cooling effect. Usually you find these on the roll-on under eyes just to kind of cool and help soothe your eyes, but I love it on this. Now this one is by Scentbird. If you aren't familiar with Scentbird, they're actually like a perfume monthly subscription brand. What you would do is you go on, it's $14.95, which works out to be about £11.37ish, which I think is really, really affordable. You pay that every month, and then you can actually pick what perfume you want. I love and die for the DKNY Be Delicious, the apple scent. That is my scent, and that's the one that I always go for, and you get 8 mils of that. But you know what, guys, they've only just started bringing out beauty products, which I'm really excited about, because you get full-size products. You can pick whatever you want, and they've done, what do they do now? They do Kat Von D, they do Tarte, which is absolutely insane. Full-size products, and you're paying about £11-ish every month, which I think is super, super affordable. They also stock quite a few perfumes. They've got over 500. They've got like DKNY, Calvin Klein, Chloe, Gucci, and you can pick whatever you want. So if you're like me and you like to change up your scent, because I don't really want to be spending my bucks on full-size perfumes. Perfumes are expensive, you know, and you want to change up your scent a little bit. This is like the perfect way of doing it. Moving on, I'm going to go in with a primer to start off with. I'm going to be using the Revolution Baking Oil. This is to hydrate and prep for flawless makeup application. So I'm going to take a couple of drops of this, because we are going to be doing our foundation and creating a clear canvas first before we start any contouring or highlighting. Taking a couple of drops of this, I'm just going to massage it all over my face and down my neck area. For foundation, you want to just use your favorite foundation. One of my favorites right now is the Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation in the shade number 6. It's a sheer to medium coverage, but I feel like it just really blurs any imperfections and kind of just gives you a really nice smooth canvas. So I'm going to be squirting a little bit of this just in the center of my face, and then just kind of blending that out using my damp beauty blender. Now for the areas of my face that tend to be a tiny bit darker just because they're a little bit more pigmented are going to be like my forehead and my chin area, around my mouth area. I'm going to be using a slightly darker foundation, and I'm going to take the Ordinary Colors Serum Foundation in 3.0Y, just squirting that in these areas, and then again just blending that out using my damp beauty blender. Once the foundation's down, I want to go into concealer, and of course I'm going to use my DECAY All Nighter Concealer in the shade Medium Dark Warm. I just love, I don't know what it is about this concealer, I just love it. It like blurs everything, it smooths everything out, and it gives me full coverage, especially for underneath my eyes and on top of my eyes as well. So I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes and a little bit around my mouth area, and then blend that out using a damp beauty blender. Okay, so your canvas should look something a little like this. It looks pretty flat, but you want it to be one-toned, because then you want to go in to do the contouring and the colouring, and you want to add colour to your face afterwards. But first and foremost, you don't want any pigmentation, you just want it to be one tone. Okay, so I'm going to have just a really quick rant, because it's been playing on my mind all day, and it shouldn't be, and my skin is thicker than this, but it just has been. I think I woke up this morning, not on the wrong side of the bed, but you know, I check everyone's comments, so whether you know it or not, I will read all of your comments and I will try and love heart them. If I don't love heart them, or if it's in an older video, I will still read it. And this morning I just got a really horrible message on one of the comments. I don't even know if it was to be malicious, but it was just kind of something along the lines of, you should get this fixed, and you shouldn't be spending your money on high-end products. Have a look into this because it changes or ruins the whole of your face. And I was just kind of like, do you know what? Like, I feel like people forget that you're behind a screen and I'm a human being. Like, I'm a normal person, and I feel like people forget that. I feel like people think, I don't know if they think that you've got X amount of money, or if you're a robot, but I have emotions and I also have insecurities. And I felt like that comment really played on my insecurities, and I was like, that's just something that I look at all the time anyway. Like when I'm behind the screen, when I'm editing, I see everything. I see every single part of me, of my face, of my skin that I may not like. Do you know what I mean? And that I'll be insecure about. And then for you guys, for some of you guys to sometimes point that out and be like, well, you need to change that, like, because that doesn't look nice. I'm kind of like, oh, like, just give me a break. Do you know what I mean? Give me a break. I don't feel like we go out in public and we say to people's faces, oh, your nose, like your nose is a bit crooked, isn't it? You wouldn't ever say that to anyone. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's got me down. It's got me feeling a little bit insecure, but I know that I'll get over it tomorrow. It's just, I feel like I just want to tell you guys, some of you guys, just kind of be careful about what you say. Do you know what I mean? Because people have feelings, and some people are weaker than others as well. Emotionally, some people are a little bit more sensitive. So just have a little bit of respect, I would say. It's just something that's really been getting me down today. And if I'm honest, sitting down to film this video was a little bit hard. I'm not gonna lie. So for highlighting today, I'm actually going to be using the new Revolution Fast Base Concealers. I actually really like these concealers, and I think they are bomb. I really like the sponge applicator tip on them as well. And I like this shade because it's got a yellow undertone. For a darker skin tone, it's nice to have a yellow because it will really brighten. Try and stay away from like a salmon to highlight with. So I'm going to start off just by doing my eyes to show you guys the eyes. I like to do an upside down triangle. I don't take it all the way up to the temple areas because I think this can look a little bit draggish. So I'm just going to fill in a triangle underneath my eyes to the edge of my eyebrow. Now I do want to stress to you guys that contouring and highlighting really does depend on your face shape. You've got to have a look at your face shape and see what you want to work with, what you want to recede, what you want to highlight. Kind of works like that. What I'm going to do next is, if you've got a little bit of a wider nose, or you want to make your nose appear a little bit smaller on the sides, then what you can do is you can just highlight, bring that highlight right to the edge of the nose, and this is just going to help kind of narrow it down when we pop the contour on the other side. So just highlight right up against the sides of the nose. Now, something that I like to do is just highlighting on the bridge of my nose. What this does is it kind of gives me a little bit more definition. I like this area to kind of stick out a little bit, the bridge to stick out a little bit more forward. So I'm just going to highlight down my bridge. Now for a little bit more of a poutier lip, which we all love, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight on my Cupid's bow and then 2 lines up. This is going to help just give the illusion of a bigger top lip. Next, I'm going to switch up my highlighter color. We're going to go in with the Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade 10.5. I'm going a little bit darker because these areas of my face that I'm highlighting are slightly more pigmented. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade just to cut underneath my cheekbones. If I just give that little bit of color underneath my cheekbones, it will highlight and it will give me a natural contour, but it won't look ashy when I blend it out. Now with the same concealer, I'm just going to highlight a little bit on my chin, and I'm going to highlight with the same concealer on my forehead as well. Now all I'm going to do is blend out all of these highlighted areas, starting off by blending out the lighter color, and then I'm going to move on just to blend out the darker colored concealer. Now none of this will really make sense unless we pair it with a darker color, so the highlighting won't work alone. It needs to be paired along with a contour, along with a bronze to really pop and for you to really see it. Now before I move on to contouring, I actually like to bronze my skin first. Now the difference between bronzing and contouring is the shades. First of all, bronzing will usually be quite warm on a darker skin, whereas a contour color will usually have like a grey undertone to create that shadow, and bronzing you would do on a larger surface area of your skin. Contouring you would do just in specific small areas just to create them shadows, because bronzing is to make you look a little bit more sun-kissed and give you kind of like a little healthy glow. So as I am in desperate need of a bronze, I'm going to be using the iconic London Pigment Stick in the shade of 5.1 and just kind of bronzing around the outskirts of the face, and then just taking it in a little bit, tiny bit down the sides of my nose just to warm that area up and to tie everything in, and also on my cheeks. So the reason why I like to bronze my nose is just because there's going to be bronze around all the outskirts, and then if my nose looks very bright, I just want to give it a little bit of definition. So I just want to warm it up a little bit. Now I'm going to start off by contouring the cheekbone area because this seems to be the most popular. One tip that I forgot to mention to you guys is when you bronze, bronzing seems to be generally more on your bone structure, whereas contouring is usually underneath your bone structure to create them natural sort of shadows and emphasize them. So I'm going to take these two darker brown colors. I am just going to mix them together and then just kind of see an invisible line from the top of my ear to the corner of my mouth, going no further than the edge of my brow. I'm just going to draw a thin line underneath just to create a little bit of a shadow there. Now this is going to give you kind of more of a sculpted look, but equally you can actually bring the contour and then contour up and around your cheeks like this. This will give you a little bit more of a juicier cheek, and like you've had cheek fillers, kind of make this look a little bit more youthful if you want to go for that look. Now I'm going to contour just around my hairline, very close to my hairline, doing small strokes, because this is just going to help make our forehead appear a little bit smaller. I'm also then going to add a little bit of shade just in the center part above my lip, because this is going to help that area recede, so it's going to make my top lip look a little bit plumper. And then also just doing the bottom of my lip. That's just going to help it look a little bit poutier. Let's try and get rid of this double chin, so let's do underneath the jawline to create a shadow there to make my jawline look a little bit sharper and to get rid of this awful double chin. Now I want to contour my nose. I want to show you guys because it's going to give me a little bit more definition, even though I don't need to make my nose personally look a little bit smaller. Contouring your nose is very specific to what nose you have and what you want to do. The theory behind it is that the closer the two lines on the side, the smaller your nose and more defined your nose will look, and that area will just kind of make it look narrower. So if the lines are further apart, it will look a little bit wider. So I'm just going to draw two lines just down the center of my nose, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit of contour just underneath to turn my nose up a little bit, and just kind of around the ball part end of my nose to make it look a little bit more ballsy at the tip of the nose. Now I actually like to take this contour color into my eye socket area because I feel like it looks very natural, and I like to add a little bit of shadow there as well with eyeshadow just to intensify that area. Now that our contour is all down, I feel like this is everywhere that I want to personally contour on my face. So I'm going to go with my master contour brush, and I'm just going to blend everything out and then use a smaller blending brush just to blend out the smaller areas that I've added a little bit of shade to, just so we're not messing up this contour and making it muddy. Now don't worry if you've come a little bit too low down. Sometimes I do that accidentally. I'm just going to take that concealer again and just clean it up. Blend it out to soften it a little bit because you don't want it to literally look like a line. Once you are done with all your cream contouring and highlighting, we're going to move on to powders now, because we want to set all of this in place. So we're kind of more or less just going to do the same thing again, but in powder form. So I'm going to start off just by bronzing up my skin. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro contour palette. I'm mixing these two shades together. I'm just going to add the bronzer everywhere that we added the cream bronzer. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing with contour. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is the powder palette, and I'm going to take these two browns right here, and I'm going to apply this powder everywhere that we applied our cream contour color. Now I know what you guys might be thinking. You might be thinking that if I was going to go in with powder products, why would I not just skip the cream and then just go in with powder? Sometimes I do that. You can do that, but sometimes I like to really layer my products, like I like to layer my skin products, because I feel like it gives you more of a flawless, softer application. It's kind of like eyeliner. Sometimes you want to go in with that liquid and have a really cut liner, and sometimes you want more of a smoked out liner, and that's how I see it. I prefer my makeup to be a little bit more smoked out, so that's why I go in with the cream and then follow up with a powder afterwards. For setting up my highlighted areas, I'm going to go back into that BH Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm going to take that yellow. I'm just going to scrape a little so I've got it as a loose powder, and then with a fluffy brush I'm just going to lightly dust it over the areas that we highlighted. I'm just going to quickly set my eyelids with this powder as well. And now taking a fluffy brush, I'm just gonna kind of brush all of this, I suppose, bake away, just to leave our skin looking flawless underneath. Now just spritz your skin a little just to bring it back to life. Okay, now I'm just going to quickly fill in my brows because they're looking a little bit sad and limp. They just need a bit of colour, so I'm just going to fill them in with my Anastasia brow pomade in a dark brown, just filling in the gaps and cleaning them up a little bit. Now because this look really isn't about the eyes, it's more about a sculpted face, I'm just going to go in to that colour that I used as a bronzer in the BH Cosmetics contour palette, and then I'm just going to run this down the side of my nose and take this through my crease for a little bit of definition for the eyes. Because I want my eyes to stay bright and big, let's just go back into that yellow colour. Just using all of these contour colours. Let's go back to that yellow colour and pop this on the lid. Taking my bronzer colour again, I'm just going to smoke up my lower lash line. Let's add a little bit of blusher just to make the cheeks look a little bit fuller. For this I'm going to be using the Too Faced Pepper Don't Peach blusher and just popping it to the apples of my cheeks and then blending it up. So blusher will always add more of a kind of youthful, plump skin look. I'm just going to quickly set my brows because I forgot to do this. I'm all over the place. Now we're going to move on to shimmery highlight. Now that we're done with all of the matte, I'm going to be using this new Revolution. This is the highlighter quad in Ignite. How stunning is it? Like, it's so beautiful. Sorry if you can hear banging, there is work going on downstairs. It's so beautiful. I'm going to mix this colour. I'm kind of just going to mix all of the colours together. I'm going to pop a little bit of highlight in my inner corners. This is going to brighten your eyes and make them appear a little bit larger. And then I'm going to apply the highlight just on the highest point of the brow bone to bring emphasis to that and to bring that forward. I'm also going to apply a little bit of highlight to the tops of my cheekbones to bring them forward, and on my cupid's bow and the bridge of my nose to bring that forward. Okay, so now that my eyes and my skin is complete, I'm just going to quickly chuck on some mascara, then I'll pop on some lashes and we'll come back and do lips together. Just adding a little bit of liner in my waterline. Okay, so I'm feeling actually like a pinky lip, which is very rare for me. I'm going to go in with the package that Scentbird sent me. This is the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Melancholia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to pop this onto my lip and then just give it a quick finger blend out. Now because I want my lips to look extra plump, I'm going to add a little bit of a gloss. It's just going to tone down that pink a little bit as well. And I'm going to use MAC Lip Gloss in See-Through. Now I'm just going to finish off by using Iconic London's Prep Set Glow in Glow. This is just going to help our skin look a little bit more dewy, glowy. It's going to give us a really nice sun-kissed vibe for the summer as well. And just for the finishing touches, I'm just going to add a little bit of my Be Delicious by DKNY, sent to me by Scentbird in this beautiful travel size purse I'm going to be carrying around everywhere just to give me a really nice smell this summer. You let me know if you want me to shoot like this. Like, this is very, very too close for comfort, but you know what? You can see everything on my face. And that, guys, is it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this in-depth tutorial. I haven't done an in-depth contour and highlight video on my channel for a while, so I hope you guys really like this look as well. Let me know down in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up. Follow me on my social handles, all that jazz. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.